Post-Kantian Continental Philosophy is currently experiencing a malaise, perhaps even a crisis. Both post-structuralism and postmodernism climaxed some years ago, and no replacements are on the horizon yet. Though those movements still have adherents, they can no longer claim to be the cutting edge. Indeed, that edge has disappeared. Continental scholars seem to be waiting for a new movement to emerge while continuing their historical research. Few attempt to use established insights to address current problems or to advance new answers to old quandaries. Some may hope that philosophy is finally ending after all, but most are simply treading water, unsure how to proceed. Both post-structuralism and postmodernism had withering effects on early movements in continental philosophy. They trumped a paradigm shift in philosophy, abandoning the tasks of previous movements and substituting their own agendas. Post-structuralism proved especially destructive. It rejected structuralism for postulating universal, unconscious rules governing mental operations when structuralist Schroeder realized that the complex dynamics of human action cannot be explained in this way. They eviscerated existentialism for its humanism and individualism instead of insisting on the death of the subject and the rootedness of the persons in social relations, arguing that man is no longer a viable philosophical concern. Post-structuralists insisted on the dominating influence of power and historically specific rules governing agency and thought. They viewed the totalizing future of dialectical systems, their claim to incorporate all the other positions, as a repressive because it allegedly ignores everything that fails to fit the system. Post-structuralists also questioned the dialectician's claims to occupy an absolute standpoint that could adjudicate all others. Though they praised Nietzsche, they ignored his efforts to revitalize philosophy to overcome the crisis of nihilism. Instead, post-structuralists welcomed and fueled it. Foucault's epistemic breaks, Derrida's difference, and Deleuze's rhizomes challenged aspirations to provide unchanging truths that characterized previous continental movements. Beyond these criticisms, however, neither post-structuralism nor postmodernism produced a widely accepted program for continental philosophy, despite modest efforts to do this. Foucault's late Ethics of Freedom seemed to be a rehearsed version of existentialist authenticity, subject to the same objections. His theory of power seemed unhelpful in analyzing specific struggles and failed to justify new goals through which a convincing critique of the current order could be mounted. It applied equally to all political possibilities and so favored none. This became obvious during the rise of the postmodernism, whose proponents seemed almost infatuated with the current era and thus abandoned the search for the alternatives. Because it could be used against any author, Derrida's deconstruction also left philosophy stalled, spinning its wheels uselessly. Even if this was not his actual goal. Deleuze introduced an alternative vision of philosophy as conceptual creation and attempted to renew process philosophy, but he won a few adherents, and even his disciples had difficulty applying his insights. Collectively, however, the post-structuralists silenced all the other contenders in continental thought, an ironic result given their opposition to silencing minorities. Though partisans of the other approach continued their investigations, few believed their efforts would be influence the future of the continental philosophy. To be continued. See you before the climax.